Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dice, Drinks, and Drama. I am your Dungeon Master this evening, John Heath Clark. Let's meet the rest of our fabulous cast.
Hello, my name is Devren Bryant. I will be playing a Tabaxi rogue soul knife by the name of... Oh God, I forgot. He actually lost his name recently. He is now
Shivers in Winter.
Shivers in Winters.
Yeah.
Yes, that is his name. I am playing Walker in Summer, a prince who isn't able to rule because of a curse. Does that curse have something to do with his new-founded soul knifey powers? Who knows?
Ooh.
Is it hereditary? Who knows? Is it because of a god from some other plane? Who knows? Well, we'll figure it out, I guess.
Well.
Somebody will tell me.
Hi, I'm Zëk Stewart. I'm playing Euclid Clausen, an Aasimar Warlock, Wild Magic Warlock, which you can find at the DM's Guild if you're interested in it. My patron is my former character, Skimmer Horn, Bon Mikael, a god of delirium. And I'm used goods. My soul was once purchased by a god who got destroyed, whose powers were now siphoned into a hag. So, I may be owned. That we're not sure who has the pink slip right now. We're trying to work it out. I don't know who has my soul, but one day I will find out. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Vic Priano. I play a stout halfling, draconic origins sorcerer named Finnegan Berry Bramble, and when I'm not being romanced by NPCs, I'm brooding over my father and all the other regrets I have in my life. But I'm in a rough spot, but it hasn't come up this season, so maybe I'm just a person that likes the cold.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, I'm Carter Scott Horton. I play Guinevere Groveheart, a drow Circle of Dreams druid who, despite being in my sort of the homeland and where my fellow drow are from, have been rather quiet this season and maybe last as well, mostly because I know that if I were to speak more, all of the problems would be solved and these boys would have a very short episode.
Just in case it's not clear, just potentially for a few of our audience members, Victoria shall be playing Guinevere Groveheart, and Carter shall be playing Finnegan Berry Bramble. They're just mean-spirited bullies to each other.
I was like, I think that's the nicest bullying in history.
It is the nicest bullying in history.
It's a very good bit.
I know.
Thank you, guys.
I'm just being
Thank you for
all right,
that.
so last time we visited the dwarven city of Karkmar and then Kark Ghaston, where we learned a little bit more about dwarven society, found out how they were giant bureaucracies. They're all about paperwork and rules. You traveled their monorail across to the city of Galabras, to the city of Kark Ghaston, near Galabras, where you were tasked, if you wanted to earn merits for dwarven society, to fight some Durgar, dark dwarves, which you promptly went down, found a wandering pack of dark dwarves, ambushed them, and returned for your glory. I believe that's where we ended, yeah?
Yeah.
So, you're all...
The fatality of a young fowl.
Oh, yes. We also had...
Fatality.
We had the joining of a sidekick, an expert. His name is Fate, and he is very helpful. Is there anything else worth mentioning?
An expert?
Yes. Great.
Yes.
So,
He also took my sweater to fix it. I don't know if you want to.
Oh, yeah.
My brand new cloak, because everything I was wearing was too cold because we were in the much more hotter climates before.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes. So, what you're doing right now is you're sitting outside the Magistratrix's chamber, and Fate is furiously knitting, and you're all you're all waiting to be seen by the leader of the dwarves as a thank you for being outsiders fighting the Grey Dwarves. Why don't we do a little conversation about what's been going on and see how it's going for you guys?
Wait, what's the temperature here?
Cave cool, so like 72 degrees.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You're in Kark Ghaston now. Kark Ghaston is inside a tamed volcano, so it's going to be a little bit warmer than average, maybe in the late 80s, early 90s.
Oh, well then, Walker is finally loving the city. I can't wait to meet this little. Magistrate. I guess I shouldn't call them by their size compared to me. I guess you don't like being called little, do you, Finn? Do you, Finn?
What?
Like being called little? I need to know. For research.
I mean, I don't like it. I don't mind it. It's true.
Okay. All right. Wait.
I'm growing.
This is an experiment.
I'm growing, literally.
And
so
you
I don't
are
feel
little.
so little.
Okay. Well, okay, great. Before we go though, you know, a lot of things have been happening to me. I've been changing a little. There's hair where there used to not be.
Wasn't there
Finn
hair?
is going to take at least 10 seconds to think about where there wasn't hair, and now there is.
Euclid's just asking, like, where?
Oh.
Well, that's besides the point.
Okay.
The point is, and I'm gonna show off my new psychic claws, I guess.
Do you want to describe them, or shall I?
You do. I want to see what you see.
You do you.
So at the end of each of Walker's fingers are retractable psychic claws of a pure purple, a purple flame with a blue energy around it. He's able to manipulate them, make them pop in and out of existence as he likes. He's even able to spin one in the air and catch it on the top of on another one of his fingers. He seems to have perfect psychic control of these claws.
So yeah, I seem to have perfect psychic control over these claws.
Ooh. Right, that's wild. Do you know that happened?
No.
Have you gone and sold your soul?
Not at all.
Wait, would it be the aboleth when it like turned you? Do you think it changed you?
I don't.
Or the other time, or the like brain thing churned you?
You know,
You get turned a lot.
a lot of things
You
have been
do.
in my head, huh? You know, we'll
Yeah.
just have to figure it. I don't know.
Happened when you were talking to the chickens.
It did happen at a very specific moment during your battle. The Duergar are psionicists, masters of mind energy and mind manipulation, and one of them sent a soul spike ability into Shivers, which caused this to happen.
I'm pretty sure, though, it was that Duergar. Pretty sure.
Huh.
But yeah, I just need you guys to know. I know, so I guess you should know.
Were they trying to recruit you?
I mean, I guess I am. The last god I was recruited to, I didn't like, so maybe. Who knows?
Huh.
There's clearly like an it factor with like or per factor. I feel as though many are just dazzled by the feline. Why can't we get kidnapped?
I don't know. You gotta be. It's something about me, you know. It's the people. They want me. They want me all the time.
All I ever do is fall
they're
down.
shiver,
traps.
shiver, shiver, shiver. That's all they want.
Shiver in winter.
Shiver.
As you're saying this, the doors to the next area burst open, and several of the battle rager guards of the dwarven culture, they're these unarmed barbarians, but very armored, and the armor is covered in spikes. And you get the feeling that they wrestle and or hugged people to death. In the defense of their magistrate. You are brought into a giant accounting room. little spools of paper going everywhere, numbers everywhere, and dwarves in little business robes running about, right? To and fro between these numbers, checking things, and running to a central table and putting stuff on the page. It has the energy of a stock exchange, right? Constantly flowing information. You see that there is a giant book of merits that is being constantly updated in a series of tubes, listening tubes that people are speaking into. This is where all the information that's being collected from all of that paperwork is being funneled into. And in the center of this is a giant desk, behind which is seated a gloriously bearded older dwarf woman. She has a beard all the way down to her knees. It is braided. It is pure stark white, and she has this deep intensity about her. You feel like she looks at you and without even speaking to you, has appraised your value in gold pieces. Does that make sense? Like, she's got a logical, like, appraising look, right?
Better be high.
She gestures for you to come forward in a way that is both a little royal and a little rude.
It's kind of like, when Gwen kind of notices, like, if that's, maybe that'll give us a little wiggle room. Like, I don't want to push it, but she seems a little on edge as far as etiquette goes here.
She's constantly like reading things, looking at sticky note style things that people are pulling to her, and she gestures again as though she's got 35 seconds to spare for you and you're wasting it already.
All right, yeah.
Move forward.
Okay.
She says, "Welcome, welcome! It's good to finally meet these Outlander heroes that have helped us a bit with our grey dwarf problem. I'm a very busy woman, as you can see, but I thought it would be useful to see who these high-powered, legendary adventurers from across the sea were, and what they quite happened to be doing in my pleasant little kingdom." And she says, "No, sell it immediately."
We're just merchants. We're just, we just trade sometimes. Even adventurers, we don't pay the bills.
Great, make a deception check to the leader of the dwarves.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep up the story I was using before. Deception. Great, not great, right? Oh, it is actually pretty great.
It's great, but it's not great.
It's not great because it's 14. It could have been much more.
And she says, "Now I've absolutely had to adjust your valuation. If I ever needed you to go on some sort of diplomatic mission, I now know not to spend too much money on you. Why are you really here?"
Look, this one got a family up north. Okay, but we also
So if we're cheap, can we help you with anything?
He says, "I believe I very deliberately asked you a question, and you've repeatedly avoided answering it.
Yes.
So maybe there is some help that can be got."
Okay, all right, I'm here looking for my father.
"I see. Simple enough. Why, the deception's worth very much a demerit if you don't ask me."
My father is not the most liked or respected man, and it doesn't set me off on a good foot to let people know that I'm associated with him.
She pulls out a dossier, a little folder, at the top of which reads Finnegan Berry Bramble, comma Finnegan, right? And she goes, the crime lord. Is that who you're referring to?
Yeah.
You're saying that he's here, somewhere in the frozen wastes?
Yeah, something about a spider mountain.
She seems upset for a second and says, "Please don't stir up the hornet's nest that is the demon, the Web Labyrinth." She became Russian all of a sudden. "Excuse me. Please don't go." And now she's just completely Russian. I gotta find it. Rogue.
You need to talk for a moment to help you out. You need.
Thank you.
There you
So you're not going to go and stir up all of the trouble of the demon web labyrinths for us, are you? It's hard enough to live here, dealing with the Duragar so close by, and not having to deal with a thrice damned drow to the north as well.
Oh, no, we don't. I trust me. I've met too many demons already in my very, very relatively short life. So, I have to. Okay.
Take a drink, cat stretch at the same time.
Anyways, I was just looking for my father, who is with a relative of mine, who may or may not be located near the lair of a red dragon.
Are you saying there's a red dragon in my kingdom as well?
I'm saying there's a high possibility that the lair of a red dragon, who goes by the name of Thava Baroff, is
we
somewhere
have
around.
no knowledge of red dragon in our kingdom. And what's more, we hope to Moradin that there isn't one. Now here, you listen to me.
Oh.
You're welcome to wander through my kingdom. And you're welcome to do favors to the dwarves, and I see that you've earned quite a few merits for your work so far. But let me be very clear. If you anger a bear and wake it from its hibernation, as so many seem wont to do, and you caused problems for the dwarves will cause problems for you.
And we know that, your domineeringness.
Thank you.
Of course, and that is why we hold your culture in high respect and hope to be held as well respected foreigners and guests as we are here.
Very good. Russian again. Rogue. Very good. So, you are welcome. You are highly respected visitors here. But, again, do not cause trouble. Now, you're looking
For a red dragon in the middle of the frozen north. I know it sounds bizarre, and I had hoped that something so out of place would have made itself very evident. It seems not.
Now, there is someone who would know all of this. And that person is one of the most knowledgeable people in all of the frozen north. His name is Darius. That's D''Arius.
Darius.
Wait.
Just threw a fucking apostrophe in there for fun. Okay. All right, yeah.
I love it.
No, his name is Darius. It's not Darius.
It's Darius, and it will always be Darius.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
I would like you all to make insight checks when he says this. And thank you so much, /Key. You make me feel happy.
And have your party members slightly fading.
Ooh, nice.
Shade-wise in the background.
I rolled a 3, so that's not.
I rolled a 5, so that's 8.
I rolled a 17 plus 0, so 17.
Gwyn wasn't included in that, right?
Correct. Gwyn, what does Euclid notice in a 17, would you say?
I am like, I just, Gwyn kind of just shuffles back and it's just like, fuck, it's not my dad.
So that's a much lower DC insight check than I expected. I expected you to pick up some facial features.
Gwyn wouldn't be like shielded by that. Gwyn's mostly shielded by other people knowing that it's their father, not the party.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. I just was like, I thought it was funny that he had this like high insight check, and the way he figured out you were worried about your fathers, you said, "Oh fuck, my dad."
No, that makes perfect sense for Gwyn.
I know. I find it very charming. All right. So, great. So you are, so you notice this, Euclid. The others somehow do not. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And she says, but here's the problem. The problem is they have been living inside Mount Sharess, the once dormant volcano. That is what erupted and destroyed the human town of Galabras. But they've been silent for some time. We haven't heard from them in weeks. We were just about to send a scouting party to look into them. Now, if you would like, we could outfit you as we would outfit a dwarven scouting party.
Sure.
And you can be the ones that can go and determine what exactly has happened to the Eilistry worshipping elves of Mount Sharess. Or you can and you will be well paid for it should you return.
Yeah.
Gold is nice.
Now,
Lovely.
Oh,
Yeah,
question.
More expensive now.
Diamonds, rubies. I'm very fond of sapphires.
Do you all tax income as well as purchases here?
well, of course, we're civilized, aren't we?
Alright, fair.
Is it another 2-to-1 ratio?
Oh no, of course not.
Hmm.
It's a 3-to-1 ratio.
Right.
Would you... And I understand if this is too much to ask, but if you were to give us any facts or figures, would you be so kind as to give us the and I'm gonna roll intelligence to see if I can remember the difference between net and gross. I cannot. The gross instead of the net.
I believe you got that wrong.
What? Sure, yeah.
She says, I don't like to discuss business. So why don't we talking business? Not so good. Writing business.
No.
That's where it's at.
Hey.
And
I
Freelancer,
use many
right?
words when
Oh,
you use
expected.
word do trick.
yes. No, the point being, we can discuss it all day, but until something's signed, it's nothing.
Yeah.
And they're going
Alright.
to draft up some documents with which one of you is going to be engaged in mortal bureaucracy.
This
And-
really is a power fantasy. It's a freelancing contract that was initiated by the client.
Right. No, exactly. Dungeons & Dragons is a power fantasy, man. So a freelance, that's what I want. I want people to feel as though they're powerful in a world that renders them powerless.
Sweet spot for me.
Yeah, exactly. You end up against the magistrates bureaucrats, and you're in the corner while she's working on other things, negotiating. And it's lots of subclause. Section C will include 0.5% further revenue gifted over time. Like it's a lot. But Euclid, how well do you catch up?
Let's see.
We see you now.
Oh,
Good. I used my my inspiration for today. It was worth it because it was a 1 and then it was a 19. So
Great. You managed to make a very favorable deal. It looks extremely favorable on paper, and after the fact, it's just sort of favorable because of all the taxes and subcredits and all the other stuff that are removed. But it is a very sizable sum, with which one could even use to purchase a small parcel of land.
ooh.
Or a home. Like it's a single person, right? It would be being split 5 ways between you. I don't tend to deal with exact quantities of money because I have to deal with that in my real life.
4 ways.
4 ways.
I'm
sorry.
pretty
I don't
sure
need
we're
money.
paying Fate in
You're
exposure.
paying
Yeah,
Fate? You're paying
Fate is
Fate?
not getting paid.
I looked at the number of
Fate
people
gets
on my
my
screen, and I counted myself.
I'm
So
just making sure
Collects
that
all
everyone
financial
knows
gain I would
we
receive.
have an intern who gets paid in exposure, and
No, he gets my money.
that's your choice.
Yes, that is my
Your money,
choice,
your
and I
choice.
want it to be included in the byline of all of it. I want it to contractually
Great.
say
Fate
he
is
gets
included.
all Gwyn's assets in the context of this. Gwyn doesn't care.
And none of Shivers.
I will say that Fate is included in that deal as well. But a number of merits, paid in merits, is what Fate is being paid in.
Sure.
That's exposure.
I really love the idea of us going back
Fate
and
beams
forth.
and says, "You all are the very best. I can't believe I've got. I dream of leaving my little loom, and then all of a sudden I get the nicest, just angels. One of you is literally part angel."
Ugh.
Well, that was the first time that was brought up. Do you want to talk? You want to talk to them about it?
I mean, like, look, there's a reason we don't talk about it, right? There's a reason why I have my wings, you know.
Oh,
Got one of the
well,
people
one of them is figuratively part angel.
There you go, thanks.
So are the rest of them. One and all the rest.
But I really, because we're still playing the fight music.
I'm part dragon angel.
Oh, okay, sure.
If you want to keep describing like the very final moments of signing the
Sure.
contract
So
very intensely.
pens everywhere, forms out in many copies, carbon paper, and then it is done. A very fine contract has been completed, and you will be well paid for going to Mount Sharess and discovering what has happened to the good drow that reside there.
Wonderful. Thank you. Perfect.
So, great. It's time for you. And she says, of course, the path is as noted, is not an easy one. You'll be traveling through the darkness itself, through the underground passageways of what we call the Underdark, to make your way, because one of the things, normally those elves travel by land, and all of the mountain openings have been sealed shut from above ground.
Should we be concerned about our safety with those seals?
Oh, deeply.
Okay.
Why do you think we're so generous? There's a 5-to-1 that we don't end up actually paying you.
I guess that makes sense.
Please never tell me the odds of my survival again.
Don't worry, we've had worse.
We have. That's very true. But you said you were going to be outfitting us. Do we have mounts, beasts of burden?
Indeed. More beasts of burden. You don't want to ride things. At some points, you may even have to crawl. But that is why we have the Rothe and the goats.
And the goats.
The what and the goats?
Indeed. The goats for riding and for carrying.
Oh, it's just
You've
goats.
never seen anything that can walk straight up a sheer cliff face like a goat. The finest of dwarven steeds.
Do you need larger goats? Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry?
When will we be introduced to our steeds?
Whenever you'd like. What other things are you looking to be outfitted with? You want some steeds?
Well,
What else?
I think that and food, we're probably good.
Well,
yes.
everyone can see in the dark, yeah?
Check.
Check. Check. No. Give anything for him.
Halflings had dark vision. Halflings have
Pretty
dark
sure
vision.
most.
Not Lightfoot.
Oh,
Or not Stout. Maybe Lightfoot does, but Stout doesn't.
I believe.
Let's double
You
check.
can't see in the dark.
It's okay.
What is that like? So you're just blind?
Yeah, for like roughly 8 hours a day.
So what do you do if you can't see?
I sleep, I eat a lot, and then I go to bed. I also drink a lot, and then I
So
go
so the reason why you tend to imbibe a bit more when we go out adventuring in the evening is because you actually can't see anything that's going on, and you're just betting on.
Yeah, so what's the matter? It's not like I'm gonna hit anything anyways.
What a life.
Don't you use like fireball even more often at night?
Oh yeah, that's most of the reason why.
I mean, we're out
He's
there
absolutely
with you,
right. I thought halflings had dark vision. They do not.
Yeah, you feel like they would, they do not.
And you just
So
make
she
a light.
says, well, that's an immediate problem. We have had humans that have been what's the word I'm looking for? Adopted in the past, and as a result, we've invested in some goggles of the night, so that you're not
working
completely
title?
useless traveling through these places. So that's one thing. We'll give you a set of goggles of the night. The next is a cornucopia of plentiful eating. And there's a iron cornucopia that is filled with all manner of delicious root vegetables and various other autumnal feastings. There's potatoes and sweet potatoes. It's very late autumn harvest foods, right? Perpetually full with such foods. And what is more, a decanter of endless water. You may be traveling through some underground wastes.
Wow.
And we'd hate for you to go hungry or starve?
Do we
Or
have to give any of
dehydrate?
this back? Just asking.
Let us say, it seems we are being very generous when we say no, but the reality is that we're not expecting you to come back in the first place.
Don't expect it back anyways. Yeah,
that's
that's what I
that's
thought.
trying to.
Well,
Should you survive, you're welcome to it.
So I got a question for you. What is so dangerous down there?
Hell, do you not know?
I mean, I know there's like Duergar, and there's Drow, and there's... I mean, I think I heard once about a wingless underground dragon called like a Beher or something.
I feel like we could have opportunities of research and not take up more time in her day.
Oh, that's true. I'm sorry. I'm asking.
She's about to send you. She says, if you need a sage to walk you through the dangers of the Underdark, I'd be quite happy. But here's the thing: our business is complete. Yes. So let's me continue making sure that the dwarven machinery of society runs.
All right.
All right, sure. Have a great day. Enjoy your paperwork. Hey.
I always do, she says. All right. So you are brought back out. You're in the central area of Kark Ghaston. There's all manner of inns and blacksmitheries, and you see a yodeling house where all the finest yodelers congregate. And then, of course, the great rivers of lava underneath the connected islands in the lava that are jut out and are connected by big stone walkways. Is there anything else you want to do in Kark Ghaston? Do you want to seek out a? Do you want to seek out a sage? Do you want to? Guinevere clearly has an idea.
Yeah.
I would love to see if there's anyone that has gone through and survived in the surrounding area. That might have some... I know they're probably going to be a little bit batty, but Gwyn's good with batty. And Fate can probably level that out a little bit. So yeah, I'd love to find somebody, because I think that a verbal history would do us a lot more colorful fill-ins than anything that would be written down.
Great. There is a half-dwarf that lives outside the city bounds that acquired... So actually, let's see how much you find out about this person. How are you getting this information? How are you finding out about the person who survives the Underdark?
I feel as though our traditional route would definitely be stationing Finnegan anywhere near a watering hole, and then me finding the quiet place, and probably bringing Walker to the quiet place to make it more dynamic.
So we are using my loud, aggressive personality to sort of siphon off the quiet ones to the back of a venue towards you guys.
You know, the answer could have been, we talk to people, right? We talk to people. a detailed plan of strategy about how to divide the weak from the strong in a social situation, such that you may milk them for knowledge. Is
honestly, the quiet ones absorb so much more than the loud ones.
This is a fantasy game. Let me be uber extrovert.
All right, so let's keep it simple. Why don't you guys roll persuasion or performance or deception checks to see how well you get along with the tavern goers at the Spongy Anvil is its name. The sign of this inn is made out of a giant sponge anvil.
That is
a
a
sponge in the shape of an anvil.
Okay. 8 plus 7, 15.
15?
12.
Cool.
About a 15.
I got a 21.
21?
Sorry.
You and your history with the dwarves is what gives you the inn. You're able to talk with them and chat and drink some fine dwarven brandy and ale and... Well, no, you don't drink, I'm sorry. But you're able... You buy the right ones right?
Yeah.
For people. And so you are able to get in and get close. And they mention that there is a dwarf named Martine that acquired so many demerits that they left into the Underdark to live by themselves. They weren't kicked out of Dwarven society, but Dwarven society was made so unpleasant for them that they chose to live amongst the monsters.
Gee.
Do they have any relatives?
They do have relatives, but the relatives have chosen not to acknowledge them.
Is there like a tiny dwarf or like a teenage dwarf who's like feeling rebellious and like maybe I want to listen for like urban legends about the half dwarf from the Underdark?
Oh, if only we knew any teenage dwarves that were rebellious, says Fate. Let's find one.
I like him. He's learning quickly.
What am I learning? He's not being sarcastic.
Oh God.
Oh, that's Fate.
He is 50. He is 50 years old. Okay.
All right. So,
Yeah.
Fate, you know any stories about this half dwarf?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I do. I'm sorry. I got so swept up in the excitement of it all. Yeah. I've heard about Martine. They're well, as rebellious as I am, going off with the permission of my father and the greater leader of my nation, as rebellious as that is, they were very fond of just doing whatever they wanted to do. They were supposed to be a fisher, I believe, in one of the underground deep cavern fisheries, but instead they wanted to be a hunter and just did it.
Scandalous.
I agree.
I don't shiver my winters. No.
He's got to learn eventually.
No,
Bit of a scary type. Basically, even just associating with them might be worth a demerit. So maybe we don't want to let people know. I mean, that's why they're all just gossiping about Martine. They don't. They know they can say just about whatever they want to get away with it, as low as they are ranked in society.
Yeah, I was hoping to maybe get a sniff of what his family might have smelled like to lead us to him. That's I know that sounds really gross, but
In that case, it's Clan Destraken.
Destroken.
It's named after the horrible underground monster.
so
One of their forebears defeated one, you see.
Guin
This
kind of
Kraken.
walks up. I'll be right back. And a few minutes pass, and a small Mabari actually comes out from the alleyway.
Just full Dragon Age at this point. Just
No,
pretense.
Mabari is what it's called technically in the book as well.
Okay. So a giant hound, fearsome and intense,
Sure.
comes out, and Fate goes, "Oh, nice doggy! Oh gosh, I don't have any jerky on me. Please, I'm finally going on an adventure. The last thing I want is my face ripped off." Oy.
And I just lick his little face.
Oh, friendly doggy! Guin would love this friendly doggy. Where's Guin?
Can I roll insight?
Yes,
It's a mastiff. Sorry, my
it's a mastiff. It's a, no,
I was
Mabari
gonna
is
say,
the.
I do not.
Mabari
I know
is
what
the
it
straight
is.
up Dragon Age word, and I was like, I'm not gonna challenge this. Not worth it.
It's a 13, 10 plus 3.
10 plus 3.
My pass.
I think you know that the Mastiff is Guin, and I think with that you know that poor Fate is a little naive.
Sure, yeah, and I'll just chuckle and nod in a feeling, just even though I'm 30 and this dwarf is 50, I feel older.
They mature
Further
very
along.
slowly. It's a very calcified society, right?
That's true. That's true. Very shocking,
Um,
especially growing up here in Karkmar.
So, yes. Well, he grew up in Kark Mar. You guys are in Kark Ghaston.
Yes,
You're across the way.
we're in Kark Ghaston. We grew up in Karkmar, right?
Yeah. Sorry, you must have said it correctly, and I misheard it. All right. So, there you're given all this food and this infinite food, this infinite water, and given a pathway through a map that is very circuitous. You're going deep down and then up, and like circling the side of the mountain and then coming out. It's a several day, if not week-long journey, depending on how quickly you're able to move.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have. We're going to find Martin, right? That was one of the things. Martin. Just making sure. Great.
So you go to House Destrican. Indeed, it has one of the great ovaloid-shaped mouths of the sonic, screaming Destrican monsters that sometimes lurk in the Underdark. There, as a crest, there are house guards wielding giant axes and hammers guarding the area. It seems that this is a very well-guarded estate. Fate looks around and says, we're breaking in there? We're asking for an invitation?
Well, I don't think asking for invitation is breaking in. Right? So off the bat, you've got your definitions wrong.
No, I mean, which one of those are we doing? I don't understand why we're at their house with this big dog and without Guin.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, you haven't figured it out yet? That's...
No, don't tell him. Can you not?
It does tricks too.
Yeah, it does.
Great tricks, absolutely.
Very, very smart pupper.
Oh, what a good dog! You're a good boy, aren't you?
Too much.
I don't think that dog's a boy.
Oh.
I think that dog maybe has neutral pronouns.
Yeah.
That's just a hunch I got about that specific dog.
Good dog, then.
Speaking
You're a very good reader of dogs. I didn't know.
I guess I am, aren't I, Fate?
is there?
I'm just gonna like waddle over to the door.
Guin, just ring the doorbell.
Yeah.
With just completely bound.
Like doorbell. And then a dwarven butler comes forward and says, "Greetings, may I help you? Do you have an appointment with Clan Destrican?"
Well, no, and good evening to you. I do not have an appointment. My associates, well, we have been asked by the magister. Is it dominatrix or magisterian? The magisterianatrix?
Do you mean the magistratrix?
Sure.
Sorry, that was the weirdest laugh I've ever done in my life.
I just maybe had a stroke.
Do you mean medical attention?
No, I'm fine. I'm learning dwarven culture. It hasn't settled yet. It's fine.
You're the outsiders that spoke with the magistratrix, as I believe what you're trying to say, as inably as you are.
Ooh, word travels fast in this dwarven town.
That's a lot of information you just dumped on me, especially about your personality. Anyways, we are going down into the Underdark, as you clearly know, and we hear that there may be a sort of pariah, an outcast, a prodigal son of the family who lives in the Underdark, and we would like...
I am sure, and she interrupts you he interrupts you as I am sure that Clan Destrican knows of no such person, and if they did, wouldn't speak of an outsider or an outcast. Good day.
I'm putting my foot in, and my hand, I'm in.
Great, you're in. No check required.
It's like, pardon?
Gwyn darts.
The dog just runs in. Ruff, 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 ruff.
Oh no, dog!
Yes?
Come back, dog! Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh no, says Fate. If only Gwyn was here to control that dog.
Oh, I know, but
he's so great.
If
they're not.
Yeah.
Great. So, Gwyn, can you roll me a doggy athletics check?
Dogletics.
It's a very special skill.
Yeah.
my dog looks like a Mabari.
Oh, 16.
16?
All right.
All right, so you dash in. Are you running upstairs to the basement or somewhere on the main floor? You hear the delicate sounds of tea time from a nearby drawing room.
I go for the fragrance of like sheets and linens.
Great. So you run upstairs. And you burst into what looks to be a bedroom. A young dwarven chambermaid, her beard barely down to just below her shoulders, is startled and drops a heating rock onto the ground that they were about to put into the linens, and goes, "Oh, a nice doggy! Oh, please, don't! Oh my goodness, where did this dog? Guards!"
I go right on my belly.
Oh,
Right on my back.
it's a nice doggy. Oh, I don't know how you got in here, but you're very sweet. I think I've got some jerky right here. Would you like some?
What is it with these dwarves and giving dogs jerky?
They just got it too. Just have it.
Gwen just like eats it, but like you can see in her eyes,
like cured
their
meats.
eyes, they're like, no.
So you're not eating the jerky?
Oh no, Gwen's eating the jerky because
Oh,
they
a
can't
good
give up
doggy!
the
A
masquerade.
good doggy! And indeed, there are smells in this room. This is clearly one of the smells of the leaders in leaders of the house. You could probably pick up a family scent here with a successful survival check.
Fantastic.
Dog five-all.
15.
15? Great. You have a scent that you could use to navigate to the outsides of this place.
Fantastic. Kind of suck it up and then slightly slink my way out, so I'm getting slightly smaller in size as I exit the room.
Great. Great. And it's just amazing. You like Transformer, like there's just suddenly less mass. Great. So
Kind of freaked her
you
out a little.
are you just gonna run back out of the house and then like wink at your friends, letting them know they don't need to bother these people anymore?
I am going to just run down the stairs and just start barking at the door and kind of like clawing at it until somebody just lets me out.
I think the door is still open and the people are horrified. Get this mutt out of here!
Oh,
says the
I'm
butler.
so sorry.
Alright,
Come
now that's
on.
aggressive language. We're leaving. We're trying
We're
to get our dog.
going.
Thank you.
Come here. Let's go. Come on. See, we're going.
Wow.
Euclid.
Says
Well, my-
Fate says that was wild. And why did we do this again?
Who knows?
So weird. So very strange.
Yes.
See,
Well,
what
I
this
hope we don't get
is.
the merits simply for carrying around this strange wild animal.
No.
The-
You see, this is
Nobody
adventure.
will be able to find that wild animal. And then Gwen's like cleared a few more feet between it, and you can slowly see like their hands kind of coming through, to the horror of Fate, slowly coming out of wild shape to kind of get the point across. But
She burst out of that dog! What happened to that poor dog? Guin! Why did you kill that dog?
You've got a lot to learn about magic. I do too, but so do you.
I do. I have lots to learn. That's why. Is this a thing? Can they just turn into a dog?
What? Who do you mean?
I
by
don't
they?
know. Ask them.
Do you mean Gwen?
Guin, you just do this? You just do this often? Just turn into a dog?
Gwen just, for a second, just starts puking and then turns and is like, yes, sometimes, but only for learning opportunities.
Well, that's intense, but good for you. Yeah.
And even better for us, because I assume you got this scent.
Yes.
Perfect. See? Adventurer work.
Oh, he says,
Mhm.
like he's finally gotten it. Wow, you're all very tactical.
What? We try to be.
I'm impressed. I'm so learning. And he pulls a little notebook and he just starts going, sometimes turn into dog to get scent.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody just sort of nods. Okay, yes, wisdom. Yes, wisdom.
Yeah. I like having a little sidekick that we're teaching. It's fun.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's nice.
I really hope one day he'll be as terrible as we are.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna make this pure, naive, innocent little boy so evil.
Yeah.
Look
yeah,
at it.
Yeah.
BBEG, Fate Weaver. Anyway, sorry. So you're making your way outside of the city?
Yeah.
So as soon as you cross into the city gates, they like lower this large drawbridge and use giant mechanical winches to pull it back, this huge steel door. You are in the lightless depths of the frozen north, famous for these vast untracked caverns that riddle the entire area with no light. Now, luckily, Finn, you've got little goggles that look they're very steampunk.
Yes.
Right?
Sure.
And you can adjust them. These goggles of the night that they gave you can adjust them to various different light levels. And you can see in the dark.
Lovely.
To, I think, 60 feet. I think it's standard dark.
Cool.
Right? And the first thing you notice is like civilization dies. It doesn't like peter out. There's not little farms and stuff out here. Outside these heavy stone walls is just emptiness and danger. Right? There's nothing living where you're looking either. It's all rock and stone. And there is nothing to do but to go to find Martine's location.
Yeah.
Right? So Guin is following the scent. Yes?
Yes. Guin
Do
has
any of
their teeth like kind of barred in the same way that cats do when they try to capture things and keep it there.
Sure. I love that. What about the rest of you? Is anybody posting lookout? Is anybody checking out the local fauna and flora if you've run into it? Like, what are you doing during this walk to find Martine's little hermit hut?
Do we have the steeds, the donkeys? What are they called? Goats.
Goats.
And then there's like another name for like underdark goats or something.
Rothae, but Rothae are bigger, and the travel you're going on, the goats need to be able to like squeeze into tight passages and stuff. So you're being given very versatile, stocky mountain goats to carry your things.
Right. Oh, they're for carrying our things. They're not for us to ride them.
You can ride them.
You can
ride them.
You're too big.
Wait, so only half of us, and that would be Guin and Finn can probably ride them.
I don't even.
You can ride. They're medium-sized goats. These are special bred underdark goats.
I am 5 inches off of being considered.
Yeah, in that case. I was like, I qualify as small, so I can read it.
It's my mother is short.
You guys can absolutely ride.
I ride the goat.
Goats. You ride the goat. Very good.
Do we become
Sweet.
goat if we ride goat?
Finnegan, can you make me an animal handling check?
I can, but before I roll, I want you to know that his name is.
I have a name for him already.
Oh wait, you've got a name for him?
It was very simple, but I would love to hear yours. It's better.
Gumbledoo?
Dumbledoo.
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 Well, Gumbledoo hates me, probably because of the name. I rolled a 3. My animal handling is a 0. That's a 3.
Dumbledoo is an ornery cuss, and he loathes you.
Wait,
he keeps
somebody's giving
inspiration.
me inspiration. Go, geek. Just
inspiration for goat riding. All
For
right,
goat
let's
riding.
roll some inspiration for goat riding.
It's an 8. Thank you very much for your inspiration.
All right, Gumbledoo is an ornery cuss, and he does not like you. He does not like being in these tunnels. He doesn't enjoy doing any of this. What he does like is chewing the bottom of your cape.
Gumbledoo, stop it. Stop chewing. Munch. Yeah. Gumble. Do. I give him ear scritches because he's a good boy, and that's probably why I'm failing my animal handling.
He looks at
I'm
you
giving him
and he
positive
sneezes
reinforcement.
all over your hand.
Why are you so cute? I hate you. That's my walk.
Great. What about Euclid and Walker?
I'm gonna try. Yeah, I've got 13 on my animal handling.
Great.
Yeah.
You are able to get on this goat and not have it hate you. Does it have a strangely, superfluously fanciful name?
Maricelina.
Maricelina. Man, these dwarves name each other like Bloodfurrow and then name their goats Maricelina. You know what? I think Maricelina is just a really damn fine goat. Glossy sable fur,
Just
glorious mane, no horns because she's a female goat, but just a goat model, right?
Yeah. Every time we turn towards her, she like throws her mane back and the light hits it, and it's like, wow.
Right. Exactly. And she even knows how to like accommodate for underdark lighting. It's amazing. And Maricelina goes, "Meh."
Hey, do you mind if I ride you?
And she gets on one knee. It's almost courtly.
Alright. Thanks so
And
much.
she stands up and shakes a little bit until you're very comfortable, and then she trots. This is as Finn is going like Gumble is like fighting, trying to get on the back of this thing.
Go
He
on,
finally make an athletics check, Finn.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Yes.
All right. Gumbledoo, get fucked. Yeah, that's a 21.
Great. You jump up and you're backwards, but it doesn't matter. You flip yourself in and you like strap yourself into the stirrups, and you are on Gumbledoo's back, and he's not happy about it, but you have mastered him.
I'm the captain now. Oh, yip.
And we trot past, and I'm like reading my romance novel.
Right.
How you doing? Doing well?
Oh,
Maricelina.
I'm fine. I'm doing fine, Euclid.
Oh, that's nice.
Whoa.
Maricelina sniffs at Gumbledoo and throws her mane back, and Gumbledoo, as she walks past, gives her a longing glance. Since our audience is getting emotionally invested in the goats,
All the goat
I feel as
embrace.
I might as well create unrequited love.
Wait,
Right?
I'm sorry. Is there like a bit of a, we've got a subplot, a romantic subplot between Gumbledoo and
Maricelina.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I like it. I like it. I'm invested.
Please no goats.
I'm media invested.
I know exactly. It's all the Jack can talk about.
Goat mance.
So, why not lean into it? Great. Goat mance, yes.
Mhm.
This is a combination of Goat Simulator and a dating sim.
Yes.
Right? We're just
Gotta use
getting
that
the two very
tongue. I'm so sorry. I'm so
Whoa.
sorry, everybody. I'm.
They'll eat anything. Anyway, sorry. Hey, we don't do PG-13 anymore, right?
No, we don't. We can be as raunchy as we want at this point.
All right, great. So, Walker Shivers, what are you doing?
I'm actually on guard.
Make a perception check for me.
Let's see. That is a 13.
13.
Mhm.
What's up? Hey.
Wait. Okay. Yeah. 13.
Great. None of you notice until it's too late. The strands and threads of spiderweb above your heads, and the spider-bodied, elf-torsoed creatures that have laid a terrible ambush for you and your goats. A pack of driders have been waiting for you, it seems. The noise you've made making, the baying of goats, and they are now descending to feast upon you. All right, so everybody roll initiative. Riders have a surprise round and are going at 19.
Guin has 21.
I got a 20.
I got a 20 as well.
23.
What the fuck, y'all?
Whoa, y'all. Whoa.
For the goats.
All right.
For the
So wait,
goats.
there were two 20s?
Yeah,
I got one too.
I just got a
All right,
straight 20. I was pissed.
At a 21.
Yeah, 19
Jesus.
before 23.
The worst time to roll a
Jesus,
20.
Mary and Joseph. This is a Christmas miracle, y'all.
I love
The
that.
Driders got a 19 and they're going last. All right. So 23 is Finn.
Yep.
21 is Walker. No, 21 is Guin. Who wants to go first?
You go first.
Me?
All right. So then Shivers is last with Euclid second. All right. They get a surprise round. So they are going to. It turns out there's 3 of them. 2 of them are falling down from the ceiling, but one of them has pulled out a longbow and is firing at Finn. So it is shooting at you 3 times, Finn. What's your armor class?
17.
17? All right, you are missed. The arrows ricochet off the rocks, the clatter echoing throughout these empty, vast caverns. But one of the arrows does strike true. You're going to take 7 piercing and 4 poison damage.
Oof.
7 piercing and 4 poison.
Poison for a total of 11. As the arrow punctures into you through whatever armor you're wearing. The other 2 fall and chitter. One of them is opening its mouth, and its body looks like a standard drow elf. These are driders, which are basically spider centaurs. They are drow elf torsos with giant spider bodies. But they're not riding them. They're one creature.
So you don't remember the Spider Riders? Okay, no, I don't remember Spider Riders.
No one remembers the spider riders.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
I was gonna say I can't remember the Dark Souls boss, but in Dark Souls 2, there's the Scorpion version, not the.
Calling all Spider Riders. No, never mind. No, nobody wants.
So just for that, Walker, it's opening up its mouth, revealing terrible poisonous fangs and biting at you. What's your armor class?
It is 17.
Great. Its bite rends into you, pumping poison. You're going to take 2 piercing and 9 poison damage.
Oh, that's ugly.
Apparently the music is a little bit too loud, according to the chat.
Just a 10.
Just a tad. So then
I dropped it down.
it's going to
Sorry.
slash at you twice
I'll
with
drop it
its
again.
longsword. Shivers, and you're able to dodge out of the way both times. The last one drops at Euclid, opens up its otherwise humanoid-looking mouth and gashes out with giant fangs, hitting, slashing twice with the longsword. What's your armor class, Euclid?
Oh, so sorry. 13.
Then you are slashed once more. So not only are you bitten and poisoned by its terrible fangs for a total of 11 for that, you're also slashed with the longsword for another 7
Okay.
for 18 damage.
And, I have poison resistance. Does that account in anything that's happened?
It does. It's gonna reduce that by 5.
Okay. Cool. So, cool.
They say, Spider Queen, we have failed you! We repent! Accept us back!
They say what now?
That's what they scream as they attack you. Not to you, apparently. And as you look, you see tears streaming down their faces, and that their eyes have glossed over to a pure white, completely lacking irises. They don't seem to be sane.
All right. Great.
Excuse me. All right, so we're at Finn.
How many could I get within a sphere that has a radius of say 30 feet?
You could hit. They're pretty tall. I would hit. You're doing a fireball.
Either fireball or sickening radiance. I haven't decided yet. Probably fireball.
Either way, you can hit all 3 of them and none of your friends because they're pretty tall, and then the ones on the ceiling. So I'm saying if you targeted the ceiling, you can make a sphere that doesn't hit your friends' heads but hits theirs.
Great. So I'm going to fireball.
Great. So,
3rd level, so just 8. Ooh.
Gosh, they're all. What is this DC?
My DC is increased by the +2 blood vial, correct?
Correct.
So it is 17.
Well, one of them fails because of that blood vial. The lowest thing I rolled was a 13 plus 3.
Okay.
So, so be like, yeah, blood vial, you rule. So how much damage is it?
I'm counting it right now. 17 plus 8 is 25, 26. So 26 or 13 if they pass.
So 26 is 97, 13 is 110.
And then I'm going to spend 2 sorcery points.
Just a second, real quick. As the fire bursts out, it lights these lightless caverns for the first time, and you see on the ground, just past where your dark vision extended, bones everywhere, scoured. And you see these driders a little bit more clearly for the first time. Their weapons are haggard. They look savage and mad. Then the light goes back out, and you're left with the faint impressions of dark vision again. Then Finn follows up.
So, of the 2 that I didn't hit, are any of them within 30 feet of me?
You hit all 3 of them. 2 on the ground, 1 on the ceiling.
Yes.
And you're talking about the 2 that succeeded at the save?
Yes.
They're both within 30 feet of you, yes.
Okay, great. So one of them I'm going to try to, with my Metamagic Quicken spell, hit with a Firebolt, and then because of my other magical spell focus that I got, that I made a major spell focus with my Far Realm thing, because I'm using a Metamagic. The other one needs to make a Charisma saving throw against DC 17 or take 3d6 psychic damage, because then a tentacle just whips out of my hand and smacks it.
Great. A horrifying aboleth-like tentacle comes out of nowhere and smacks one of your enemies.
Does a 26 hit?
26 does hit. Let me know what the damage is on each of them.
Great. So I rolled pretty low for the Firebolt. That is 10 damage.
Total?
Yes.
Bring that one to 87.
And then, did it pass its charisma save? It failed. It's going to take an additional 5.
Great. It's at 82.
So low.
All right. So they rear back, and you see the Far Realm tentacle, and says, "No more horrors from the deep." Guin, it's your turn.
Brighten things up in here. So we're just entering, so I assume that there is still some semblance of light, although it's not a requirement for the spell. We're gonna moonbeam it.
Great. Glorious light filters from the air, green and dreamy, and burns into. I'll let you do the 2 on the ground.
Right.
One's gonna pass, one's gonna fail.
And the one that fails, it's with 12 damage.
Great. So the one that fails is at 98. The one that passes is at 76. And there's the one on the ceiling that's still at 110. The driders scream, crying and clawing at themselves, clearly filled with anguish and woe, both from the pain and something else. Euclid. Great. On the most damaged one at 76? Great. So it's actually the one that's right in front of you. So you let loose a pure essence of entropy that causes time to pass like wild, and making them rot and decay from the inside.
Zeke, you're muted.
Dang it. I did that because I was opening something. Sorry. Cool. I'm doing Blight. There you are. 8d8. Cool. Just rolling to see what damage they do a Constitution saving throw. Failed. Great. They take 32 damage.
You can make an attack at disadvantage to do a range attack.
Muted.
What?
John's muted now.
I am not.
You aren't anymore. I fixed it. So sorry.
It's okay. These things happen. We technical difficulties.
And
Yeah.
And Devren is muted.
I believe.
Not anymore. You're all good now.
Not
Don't worry about it.
All right.
a wig.
It was a
Great.
desktop audio issue that I fixed last week.
You can remember you can control these psychic claws. You can fling them. If you wanted to attack the one at the ceiling, you could, but you're better off attacking one of the ones that's engaged with you.
Yes, I'm gonna attack whichever one is lowest.
Great. So psychic claws pull out from your hands. You reach back and you slash into the nearest one. Roll an attack roll straight. Their armor class is 19.
Okay. I'm gonna use my once per day reroll on that then. Armor class is 19. I rolled, and please, that's an 18.
An 18.
That's an 18.
I will let you open yourself up to a free attack from one of their bites to get in there and stab one underneath the jaw.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Success at a cost, which is incidentally in the Dungeon Master's Guide. So you go forward. It bites at you and misses. Its teeth snapping right in front of your flattened nose. If you had a human nose, it would have been bit.
Ooh.
But then you get to stab up with your claws right underneath its jaw and tear out a chunk of the drow face. It goes.
So that's
roll that
going
damage
to be...
for me.
That is 28, and then I get to make another
Great.
another
So you
attack with
claw,
my claw.
and then you come back in with your left hand and do an offhand attack.
Which is going to be 1d6 of psychic damage, plus I'm using Dex, so that's going to be 11 more damage.
Great. It's at 5. It's in very bad shape, unable to speak anymore, and sobbing and making with its left hand a symbol of Lull from the Spider Queen, over and over again, like the evil eye. Just a spidery hand gesture, constantly making last prayers to its goddess. They're all clearly insane. All right, that was those shivers, bringing us to the Driders. So this one that's barely alive is going to continue attacking Euclid.
Nice.
Bite hits.
Okay.
Sword slashes both hits.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah, so you've been bitten and sworded twice for 14, 16 plus 4, 20 damage.
20
That
damage.
included your poison resistance.
That's 20 damage including poison?
Resistance.
Yep. Cool.
20 damage total.
Cool. Great.
Then the other one is going to continue firing arrows at who's been having arrows fired at them?
It was me.
Finn?
Yep.
3 arrows come flying down, 2 hit you. Each one does 11 damage.
What did they have to hit?
One of them had 15, 19, and 21.
Yeah, I'm gonna shield then, so
Great.
neither of them hit.
And a dragon scale appears, making the arrow ricochet across it, off of it. Great. So then so Fate is going to say, "Look over there! There's one over there! Oh, and another over there!" Giving advantage to both, using a bonus action to do the help action and a standard action to do the help action, helping both Euclid and Shivers.
Cool.
Cool.
Thanks, buddy.
What are experts for? He says. Anyway, sorry, excuse me. Hydrate.
Oh.
So
Hydrate.
Hydrated.
then the last Drider bites at Walker. It is going to hit you with its bite for 2 piercing and 9 poison. Do you have poison resistance?
I don't. Can I dodge some of this though?
You can. It would be 11. You can turn it to 5.
I'll turn it to 5.
Great. All right. That brings us back to Finn. There's one left at 5, one at 98, and another at 110.
Okay. I think I'm going to pull the same trick. But this time, so first I'm going to 2 sorcery points to bonus action, quicken spell a firebolt. The guy with 5 HP, is he within 30 feet of me?
Yes.
Okay, so he needs to make the charisma save.
Great.
Against 3d6.
Fails, I believe. His charisma save ends up being a 14.
Okay, yeah, he needs a 17, and that is 11 damage. So
great. He says, "No, I have betrayed you." There's another flash of bright light, and that's when you might see something. I need everybody to make perception checks.
Okay.
Ooh, not bad.
Oh no.
Not bad.
13.
Ooh, wait, 16.
8.
23.
All right. Well, I got an 18, so.
Great. Euclid and
Shivers.
Euclid and Shivers, you both notice a strange silvery moon pendant that all of these Driders are wearing. Make religion checks to figure out their significance.
Sure.
Oh, God. Oh,
Or remember to perhaps talk to your resident drow expert, Guin, after the fact.
oh, okay, yeah, because I got a 12.
Oh, it's like a +1. 17.
17. Both of you recognize this as the drow goddess Illustrae, who is the goddess, the moon goddess of good-aligned drow. It seems these Driders were carrying holy symbols of Illustrae for some reason. In fact, you're pretty certain that you heard that this place you're going to, these good drow, were followers of Illustrae. Illustrae. So, interesting that these Driders are wearing their livery. All right, so...
That was my bonus action. My regular action is a 2nd level magic missile, which I am going to throw at whichever one of the two looks weaker.
Right. The ones at 98.
Wait! Oh, the I forgot to tell you, the firebolt did 10 fire damage.
Mm-hmm.
And whichever one that hit, the magic missile that's 16 plus 5, 21.
21.
So 31 to that Drider for me.
Sure, it's at 67. As it is pummeled with magic missiles and another aboleth-like tentacle slaps from the far realm and smashes your foe.
Okay.
All right, Guin.
Guin is actually going to take an on-foot attack for the first time in a while. And it is going to be with their daggers. And let's see how they do. With hitting, that was an 18. And we're going for the one that's higher up, since Guin can just click their heels together and get it.
Great. It is a attack at a cost. You're allowed to do this, but it will give them an opportunity to attack you.
I'm fine.
Great.
I've got dice.
You are bitten for 2 piercing and 9 poison. As the drow basically unhinges its jaw with its terrible mandibles and punctures you. You are, but you're able to get in and stab with your daggers. Roll that dagger damage.
Was 6 and 5.
11.
11, yes.
It's at 56 remaining hit points.
I would like to
All right.
use my bonus
It says, "Love, forgive us. Love, we betrayed you."
And I'd also like to use my bonus action to heal a few party members because they're still technically in range. I'm going to use
Great.
bomb. I'm going to spend 3 bomb at the moment.
Great.
And let's roll up. So, Euclid gets 2. Carter, you're going to get 5.
Cool.
And Walter, you're going to get 5 as well.
2. Nice.
Anka, Kitos.
Yeah.
Cool.
Great. Euclid.
Great. I'm gonna Eldritch Blast the weakest one, and then because I have 2, I'll hopefully. Can I hold that to find out how well the first one does to see what happens?
It's at 56.
Cool. Then I'm just gonna shoot at it.
And your first one, because of Fate's help, has advantage.
Great. So here's the first one. Boop. Cool. Plus 9. That's 21.
Great.
And the second one, great, is 28 to hit.
Great.
That scepter is really nice, and thanks for giving it to me. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Cool.
Don't forget, it gives you an extra warlock spell slot you can just regain as an action.
Oh, that's right. Thank you. Just take a look at my modifier. Sorry. That's 10 plus charisma 4. 7. Oof, that's crazy. Sorry. I think this is right. 20. Really? Yeah. Sorry. 20. Sorry. I'm so bad at math. So sorry. 34. 34.
34.
All
right.
It's 34.
It's at 22
max damage. Literally the most damage you can possibly do in it.
And it goes, no, we have betrayed you. And the last one that's sitting at the roof shimmies its eyes both ways and seems terrified and delirious about what's going on. All right, Shivers.
All right, so there's 2 left. I'm gonna attack the weakest one with
Great.
my claws,
You have
and I
advantage
have
because of your
advantage. Wait, that still works. No, that doesn't work. That's 16.
16.
Yeah.
That's within. No, it's not within. It's at a cost. All right, you miss it. All right, the one Drider remains behind. Oh no, actually, Fate is going to pull out a knitting needle. And what is he going to say? There was a phrase that somebody said in the chat earlier.
Was that them or was that me?
1 pupper, 2 dreamers or something?
It was knit 1, pearl you.
Knit 1, pearl you! He says, running at the nearest Drider.
That was me.
And stabbing it once for 3 damage!
Woo! Thanks, buddy.
19. And he goes, ah!
Oh, buddy.
The Drider is going to bite at Walker.
Oh,
Good.
oh okay.
All
Good.
right. Yeah,
and
this is
slash at
fine.
Walker twice.
Yes.
Or Shivers. Yeah, Shivers, right.
I'm body
being
blocking.
hit twice for, once for 11 and once for 7. You can uncanny dodge again.
I'm gonna
down
yeah.
to 12.
Yeah.
Great. All right. So the other Drider on the ceiling is going to begin skittering away. It is going to run on the ceiling 60 feet away into the darkness. In a different direction from the one you were heading. All right. So there's still 1 left, and we're at Finn's turn.
I can't see the one that skittered out of the way.
You can just barely see it. It's at the edge of your dark vision, 60 feet away.
How was that one looking health-wise?
110, barely injured.
Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna firebolt this guy.
Great.
No matter
DC 19. 19.
Say 21 to hit.
21. That is it.
And 2d10. 15 damage.
It is at 4. It's falling to pieces. It's burning, and there's a sudden look of intelligence in its eyes, as though it's slowly regaining its sentience in its last few moments. Guin.
And since I was a little bit closer, can I try booking it towards the one that was trying to get away?
You can. You're next to this one, and it could get an attack of opportunity against you.
That's totally fine.
It chooses not to as you run past it towards the one that's running away. You feel the sheer terror in its eyes, in its body rather, in its mannerisms as you run towards it. So you're 30 feet behind it now. Do you want to dash and be like right up next to it?
I could do that, but I could also, since I'm in range of it, cast Entangle to grab him.
Great. Strength save. He gets a 15.
did not succeed.
Great. He is wrapped up in vines, and he says, "No, Lolth, you have betrayed us. We have betrayed you. Save us. Hurt us."
Wait, what?
What are these
These little spiders.
these spider riders?
That brings us to Euclid.
Great. I'm gonna go up to the one that's like prone and clearly close to death, and take the medallion from it. Does that cause any change?
"No, the symbol of our strength and weakness. Return it."
Alright, I toss it at it and then I hit it with an Eldritch Blast. Again.
Great. To kill or to knock unconscious?
Oh, that one's just a kill, I think. I think
Great,
that one's the
do
kill.
it.
Yep.
Roll an attack roll with advantage.
Padoop. That's a nat 20.
Great.
Cool. Then I have another one too. Bloop. Oh, come back.
I mean, it's at 4.
Okay, it's good.
Your Eldritch Blast shatters its carapace, sending chitin everywhere,
Ooh.
and blood streaming all over the place as you just shatter it with your Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, this Eldritch Blast this time was yarn, just shooting at my hands. It was knitting as it went.
Sure.
Oh, gross.
Great.
I didn't like that.
The other Trider slumps and says, "You have captured to us. Kill us, save us, hurt us." And that is where we're going to take our 10-minute break
All
as you go to
right.
talk to the Strider.
Right.
All right. It is 8:35, so I imagine we'll be back around 8:45.
Yep,
Cool.
we'll see you then. While we're away, just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Next week, if any of you have to leave, we're going to be starting at 8 o'clock. Not Eastern time, not 10. Just because we're up super late on this
after
side.
work for everybody on the West Coast.
Yeah,
And
so
then
you guys can just jump right in. All right. See you in a second.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dice, Drinks, and Drama. A reminder, we said it right before the break, but in case you joined us during the break, we're going to be changing our time slot to 8 to 11 EST starting next week. Very exciting.
Wow.
And am I wrong? Zeke,
No,
you made
you're right. I just couldn't imagine ending something at 11 o'clock. Holy
Right.
crap.
It's very exciting.
Watch a movie. We can.
Yeah.
I could... Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I know, it's very exciting. That's why I keep saying it, because I definitely don't want to lose anybody, and I think we'll gain people. So so that is the hope. So you have this Drider trapped. It's wriggling its many legs, wrapped up in a web of plants that have burst from the barren ground.
It's like...
It squeals in anguish and says, "Not again! Not a third time!"
A third time.
Sorry,
Third.
third?
Third?
How
So it said
often,
third time.
how often are you captured, and who else has captured you?
It squeals and turns and says, "Captured at birth, saved and captured in the light, now captured to be eaten by fiends."
We okay.
Quinn's gonna switch techniques, but they're going to pull in the entangle a little bit and actually try to give it a hug.
Make a persuasion check. Or animal handling, if that's better. There it is.
Both are like either work, but animal handling. I hate when I roll bad. I'm gonna use my inspiration for that one, because that's like something I actually want to go well. Fuck you, dice. 11.
11. It says, "No, not changed again, changed back so soon."
What?
And it cradles its head. Would somebody like to show Guin that holy symbol, please?
Sure. I will hold it up, which I still have, I believe. I'll
Yeah.
pick it up off the body that I threw it onto before I blew it apart. I like pick off some viscera and go, "Hey, they were wearing this. Does this mean anything to you?"
Well, it's definitely. I'm actually kind of surprised that they attacked us, given the symbol. That's something that wouldn't really harbor that reaction. I don't want to bore you with any sort of.
Well, I mean, I'll probably be bored, but you should still tell me because I'm so out of the loop.
Yes, I only know a little about your religions and the Underdark.
Like, why does that symbol mean that they shouldn't have attacked us?
Guin gives a little bit more of a detailed explanation to what it is, but also kind of pauses for a second and it's like, but you guys know I'm not the religious type, right?
I mean, I don't think I've ever seen you take any lord's name in vain, so no.
Guin, roll me a religion check with advantage to see how much pertinent information you have about this.
Thank you, because I wasn't sure as Guin
Yep.
how much I would be able
Exactly.
to a lot. It was a nat 20.
Nat 20?
Yes.
Amazing. So here's the pertinent information that Guin shares with you all. And you can tell me, Guin, if there's some part of it that you want to hide from them or something. But this is what you know, and rather than have to say it twice on stream, right? So, first of all, Driders. Driders are those cursed by Lolth who showed promise but failed Lolth in some way, and she transforms them into nearly non-sentient savage monstrosities. Literally called one of their the name of the paragraph in them is Scarred for Life, right? The other thing is the community you grew up in was a community of Ilastrians, and Ilastri is the goddess of redemption and the moon and doing good despite your heritage and rising above your circumstances. She's the goddess that good aligned drow seek when they try to leave the evil layers of the later drow. Now, you grew up in this religion. You never grew up amongst the more vicious parts of the drow, but you know about Lolth and Kirian Soleil and so on. But what matters here is it looks like, briefly, considering what they've said, that these Driders were reclaimed by the Ilastrians and uplifted and given sentience again. And then something has happened to take it away from them.
Oh, so they transformed because of Bad Spider Lady, and then they were redeemed because of Good Moon Lady, and then Bad Spider Lady got their hands on them again. Is that what you're telling me, Guin?
Yes, and a kind of embarrassing thing to say is like my immediate trust of Euclid also kind of came from that too. One of her favorite beings are Asimars as well. So that to say, I don't know, that was just a kind of a little detail tad in there, but
thanks there.
Yeah, that
Euclid.
What?
I don't mean to be rude, and maybe it's these like goggles make things seem a little bit more defined than in normal light, but I can't help but notice it's growing.
I mean, yeah, it totally is. I'm actually really worried about it. I don't want to bring it up with anybody else, but like, yeah, I'm actually quite concerned, but I don't know if it's the time for it. But so I told you about the hag lady, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what's going on. It's moving a lot more than it used to. Well, not when it used to. I mean, it used to constantly move, but it went silent for like quite some time. And now it's moving a little bit more than it did before.
Euclid, roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Sure. 12 plus 0, just 12. Why'd I even look?
As he is thinking about it and talking about it and paying attention to it, you notice the worms begin to writhe a little bit. And one of them, you could swear, grows a few centimeters longer.
Yeah, I've just been sort of been getting to me a lot recently.
Did that hag say how to remove those or anything?
No. She said I could, like, I don't know, remove. I think she gave me like a tea thing. It's been weeks now. I honestly don't
Do you remember if there was anything like, since it was we were in kind of a dream-like area, was there anything else outside of the hag that you saw that I don't want to try to evoke like anything that could maybe be a hint of getting out of it, but anything maybe silver or in the imagery?
I mean, there wasn't silver. There was. We were literally in hell, like physically there. Yeah, it wasn't a dream space. She like plucked me from it and dropped me there, and I was in hell. And then she was like, "Hey, those worms, I own them." And I was like, "Oh, great, thanks." Didn't need to know. Thought that was done with. But yeah, I've just been worried about it, and it might be growing a bit. But look, I think we have a spider tied up here who's probably a little bit more
So,
Sorry.
with this knowledge, if any of you have the ability to restore him in some way, you might be able to cure his madness.
Right.
Even Walker, though this is not a technical part of the Psyblade class, you might be able to try to reach his mind.
I thought about reaching his mind, but I don't want to go in there. He's a spider. I don't eat bugs.
Fair.
What? You eat sentient creatures, but not bugs?
You would eat a bug?
I mean, yeah, like a good, like a hardy, like
The spider squeals. I knew you were going to eat me.
Guin will cast whichever restoration fits the bill.
Right. Do you have lesser? That's all
Yes.
you need. Great. His eyes fog out and become a bright purple, and he looks about and he says, "My mind, it is whole again. How is this? Where?" And he looks around and he says, "Brother!" and skitters. He pulls himself. I'm actually going to see if he can. He does. He rips himself from your entanglement vines and runs over to the other two dead driders. "Brother, sister, so long together, to see you dead now. Why? Why has this happened to us? Last I remember, we were defending Mount Sheress, and now this."
We killed them.
oh, sorry.
Spins on you, and there's a different sort of madness, a madness of an almost too saneness of somebody who has suffered much, and says, why would you kill them?
Because we weren't looking closely enough. We really do apologize.
You attacked us and we reacted and didn't know your position.
I understand. We look strange and we act stranger, and we have the madness implanted in us by the hated Spider Queen. But if only... If Darius is still alive, he might be able to raise them. Will you... If you truly have negative feelings about this, will you help me carry their bodies?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Sure. Why not?
Great.
Finnegan very purposefully is the last one to volunteer. He wants to help, but he's small. He's not that strong.
I like sweep up what's left of
If
the
we need a
one.
fourth body, I guess, but
I physically exploded. I'm just like gently like picking off bits from the wall to like put in a satchel.
It's solid but not strong, so I know Guin can at least get 1.5.
Gross.
Now, he says, "The last thing, I was once a servant of the Spider Queen. In the demon Web Labyrinth, I once praised Lolth with every aspect of my being. But then I failed her. I did not assassinate an elf which she assassinated, and she cursed me into the form you see me in now. It was Darius and the Illustrians that gave me sanity again, and my brother and sister. The last thing I remember was a surprise assault of dark dwarves, not even a true enemy of the elves of Ilustry. They were coming, and we were defending, and one of them hit me with a psionic blast in the head, and that is the last that I remember."
So sorry.
Oh, no. Do you remember where that attack?
It was just outside our home on Mount Sheress.
Would you take us there?
He says, yes, of course, we should hurry. I wonder if they succeeded at holding off the assaults.
We should.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Have we got any, like, sort of healing or, like... Have we got anything on them right now?
no, I have natural drow, innate spell casting. I could light you up with fairy fire.
No, not you. I was asking anybody else in the party. Anybody got anything they could spare, or is this going to be a time where we can have a short rest?
You can short rest.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
I was gonna say, I'm also generous enough to give you the rest of what I have.
But if you can short rest and heal and hold onto your spells, it's better.
Yeah. I'll settle you.
Ooh. Yeah, because if I short rest and I expend a hit die, I get 5 sorcery points back for every hit die I expend.
Damn.
I love my new magic items.
That's
It's
so nice.
very
That's
good.
ridiculous.
They're so good.
The D8.
All right, so short resting.
Yep.
Great.
That's not it.
All right.
Look at that. No. Oh.
As you begin to travel, we've been a while without a binary choice, so we have.
Holy crap, I forgot we did those.
I know. It's okay. As you're walking, that's when you hear footsteps in the deep and drums in pure synchronicity. And you realize it is the walking of a army. And the boots sound distinctly dwarven, and giving everything that you've heard, you wonder if you have the opportunity to investigate this army that attacked Mount Sharess, or if you immediately want to go and see if the survivor, if there are survivors, if they were victorious, you can immediately go there. They might need help, but you might also get valuable knowledge about the Duragar army if you follow them now. So you guys should argue about this, but the audience is going to vote. Investigate the Duragar army or travel immediately to the good drow.
I don't have the poll thing set up, so...
Well, I think considering that there was a surprise attack and we don't know how long it was ago because our new Drider friend, whose name we forgot to ask, seems to have blocked out, and that could be hours, that could be days, that could be weeks. We don't know. We need to rush to Darius right now for several reasons. I can think of 3 off the top of my head, and I don't think much.
Yes, but at the same time, if we
I've been thinking a lot today.
we have,
Thank you.
if we leave here now, we miss out on valuable information that we could, in fact, take back to them if they are still there.
And if
In the
hope is
first
lost,
place.
if they're not there,
Then
My,
we go on.
my concern is definitely the same as Striders. What if they're ambushed by an offset of them before? Like, what if we follow them and there was secretly another group sent to Darian or whoever Darius?
he's your dad.
I know.
Wait, do I know that?
No, you don't.
I don't.
Only Euclid knows that.
Never mind. He's our contact. And look, just the coincidence of the fact that the one person we're looking for who might be able to help us.
Oh, there's a third binary choice, which is to go find Martine.
Awesome. I'm gonna add all of these together. I can do the poll.
And remind both players and those who have not heard
Paul.
Martine since the break. Martine is the half dwarf, correct?
Martine is the half dwarf
Right.
that is an outcast from Clan Destergon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Whose scent we have, thanks to Guin.
Correct.
Function.
So those are the 3 things that they can do.
Great.
And are we ready with that poll?
Almost. Nope.
It's fine,
New
it's fine, take your
poll.
time.
Okay. Where to go? What are our options again?
Going to the good drow's home,
Good
following
drow.
the Duragar, or finding the dwarven guide Martine.
Mm.
Find. All right. And start pull. All right, it's going. I think.
Wait, guys, and
Cool.
I'm sorry, but maybe it's just the dark that's getting to me, and I don't know. I'm thinking about my dad a lot.
See in the poll.
And that for my
It should be going
long
now.
term, I kind of lost track of the short term. There's a lot of things going on in this Magistratrix. There's a lot of things going on. What did she want us to do?
He wanted us to find this, send a, go see the stars. The Arius.
All right.
As a scouting party.
So that is so that's our mission. Yeah. Now, and we need to find Martine in order to try and find out anything about Tavaberoff, my great-great-great-grandmammy. Okay, yeah, I got it.
I think that worst case scenario, and this is just me bringing it up, from what we've heard from our new friend who we've killed siblings. Worst case scenario, I'll always have his smell in my nose, so if it fades, maybe this healer can potentially bring them back as well if we're too late.
Well, that's true.
Sounds like a lot of necromancy, though.
Yeah, this is a wild poll. I need somebody to tie break.
Wow,
Yeah.
we are in a tie. We have so little time left. Oh
No.
goodness.
Also, as my
goodness.
meta commentary of it shall absolutely be, Gwen has not seen their father in 200 years.
Uh-oh.
Well,
Uh-oh.
150,
Oh,
2
no.
centuries. We need a
150.
familial,
Familia.
I can't think of the word.
So less of the space between.
Woof. All right,
All
so I
right,
guess
so
two things
it's
have won.
tied. Which means I will let the players determine between those two different options as a group.
Okay.
Oh, find the guide or go. Let's. Well, I say, hearing that Gwen's. You know what? I forgot. I don't know that it's your father. I still say that we should go and finish the job that the Magistratrix.
Gwen seems really on the let's do this. Gwen doesn't have much conviction. You can go off of that straight.
Yeah. I mean, I think that we should look as important as it is for me to find my dad and my ancestor, and sort of finally try and put all my family stuff behind me. We got paid to do a job, and just the fact that I'm sorry, sir, I don't know your name, and I don't want to call you Spider-Man.
I am not Spider-Man. No part of me is man. I am elf and spider. If anything, you should call me Spider Elf.
Spider Drow?
No.
Oh.
My name is Maliax.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Now-
And I was once a powerful sorcerer in
All
the
right.
glory of Lolth.
Okay. Thank you, Maliax. Anyways, I think that, the coincidence that Maliax mentioned our quarry is not insignificant. We should follow that lead up.
I like to think in the background of everything you just said, Maliax was still going on about this background. I was up. Got yourself
Fun fact, my drow voices, not the good drow, because the good drow have human accents, it's fine, are based on the drow from Baldur's Gate 2. They all had similar cadence, so it was a bunch of voice actors. They all clearly worked together to do a drow accent, and that's what I do for all of my drow. Glory for the Spider Queen is a thing that they say a bunch of times.
Like vaguely transatlantic?
Right. It's I
Nasally.
fight for the drow.
Yeah.
Like it's a very specific accent that I
As
steal.
somebody who spends a lot of time in the Underdark, I tend to lean more towards this voice, specifically for Loth himself.
I love that.
Yeah, you got a goblin. You got a green goblin sound going for the.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So, great. So you guys are going directly. You're skipping the guide.
I want to
I
offer.
don't think we're skipping the guide. I think that the guide is like towards end game.
Great.
No?
He's our
Great.
job, right? We could try to hit the location on the way past after,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. You travel, and it is still a several-day journey, but you're being led by the spider, right? And he moves quickly, helping to carry the bodies of his brother and sister. You don't get the feeling that it's actual family so much as it is shared trauma, right? It is a several-day journey. You pass by strange passes of fungus, giant crevasses where he knows how to. At one point he actually uses magic to summon webbing that you all have to use as a bridge to cross over a vast chasm.
It's personal.
This would all be very difficult. He's not using personal spinnerets. He's using magic to summon webbing.
All right.
And
Someone.
it's got to come from someone. And now the spell web will never be the same.
It's true.
All right. So
I have a quick question. Do the runes on my romance novel glow? Can I read them as we're traveling?
It's a dwarven romance novel. Yes.
Nice.
Actually, though, you get a little lost in it, and you're imagining your own personal Euclid romance and everything, and make a charisma check.
Oh, charisma! You've got it. Oof. Well, good thing I'm a warlock. 14.
14. You feel another pull, like the one you did when you were near the ruins of the underwater Sahuagin city that was once ruled by the worm that waits. And you feel that there's something else to it. Another center of its power is somewhere here in the deep dark, far underneath the ground. There are 3 layers to the Underdark, and this happens when you're briefly passing through the Middle Dark. So the Upper Dark is what's close to the surface, and what most people think of as the Underdark. But there's a Middle Dark, and then there's the Deep Dark, right?
No.
The Middle Dark is where most Drow and Duergar live. The Upper Dark is where like goblins and cave dragons and like cave stuff lives, right? And then the Lower Dark is where things lost to memory exist. Aboleths lurking in the deep is actually one of the big things that live down there. Illithids, right? The far portals to the far realms. You're not going anywhere near the deep dark, but that's where your feeling is emanating from during a part where you are, like one part where you go down into the middle dark and then back into the upper dark. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
In the deep dark, something of the worm that waits lies here.
Oh, great. So I'm not going to share that with anyone. I'm just going to try to get back in my romance novel and ignore it, as I've done for years.
Make a perception check with advantage.
Good, you gave me advantage. Oh, okay. Oh, both of those rolls were good. My first was my best. 15 is perception.
Mm-hmm.
So 18.
Euclid's worms are writhing. Slowly, quietly, but moving.
Is my 18 in perception enough for Finnegan to realize that perhaps the change in altitude is associated?
Sure.
Okay. Then Finn is not going to say anything. I think I briefly make eye contact, see that Euclid is probably in pain, if not definitely uncomfortable, and turn away and try to deal with my unwieldy goat.
Great.
But make a mental.
And you give Euclid his privacy. That's very kind of you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You arrive to a bloodbath. There are cairns built up for the dead dwarves, but the dead elves, there are very few of them. Is the first thing you notice for the amount of blood that's spread all around. Maliax lets loose a sad keen and rushes in and says, "Dead! All dead!" And Fate goes, "Oh, I think I'm going to be..." Blood all over the ground, the smell of rot. There's a cairn that's been set up that has clearly got the symbol, the broken arrow of Leduger, the evil god of the Dark Dwarves. And you see that the city has been demolished.
Can I roll religion on the cairn to see if it is signifying more absolute victory or a victory at a loss?
I love that, yes.
Okay, thank God. I rolled a 16. My history, I'm not proficient, so that's a 16 minus 2, 14.
14? It's got a weird implication. It's translates to something like those who died for the greater cause, but without the immediate cause. Like somebody who won a battle, an insignificant battle, so that someone who died to an insignificant battle so that we could win a wider war.
Okay.
Or better translated, died to someone who is not the enemy.
Do we get the feeling?
Karen, that roughly translates to this is collateral damage.
Yes.
Okay. That's sad. I think Finn just bows his head out of reverence for the loss of these needless lives, you know?
Maliax is going about keening and wandering around. The city is battered. You see that the siege weapons were used, ballistae and cannons used by the Dark Dwarves to shatter the walls. But much of the city is left intact, and again, it's empty. And that's when you remember what the Duergar are famous for: slaving.
Okay. Is there anything immediately around, like any item that I can see on the ground that I can just, anything that'll be helpful on our journey?
Make a investigation check.
Me. That is going, that's a 6. It's not a 9. That is going to be investigation 9.
Great. 9. You find a lot of broken weaponry. The deep dwarves are clearly using very well-fashioned hammers. You don't find any of those. What you find are, though, like you see the hammer marks, or lots of broken bolts, lots of crossbows, and they're using a even higher level of apparent machinery than the dwarves.
Okay.
Others can search though. You're not a good looker.
Yeah.
You're good looking, but not a good looker, Walker.
There you go. I just don't care about things. They're on the floor.
Close. 18. God, what is such weird.
18?
Yes.
Investigation?
Yes. I was looking. What I'm looking to see is if there was a retreat.
Great.
More than anything.
You find a retreat that ends in a cave-in. Make a perception check with advantage.
15. I'm just take 15. 15. I'm sorry.
You hear crying, like young dark elves
From beyond
on the other
rock.
side of the rock, as if they're trapped in the cave-in.
Is Guin following Euclid during this?
You're welcome to have.
Okay.
Unless Euclid has an opinion on that.
That's fine. I'm gonna start tearing at the wall. That's what I'm gonna do.
Athletics check. And then what's Gwen doing?
I am going to file shoot into what honestly, is there any openings in the cracks that like if he clears, I'm gonna wild shape into a weasel.
Great.
Because it'll give me the speed I need versus a
All
rat.
right. Weasel, if you please, if you could be so kind as to do an acrobatics check acrobatics check to scurry through holes in the rock.
Hey, Zeke, what's your athletics?
It's a -1.
Okay, I'm not going to give the help action. I'm going to roll athletics myself.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Gets 21, thankfully.
Right, you come to the other side. There's a young male dark elf wearing the livery of Ilustry. Looks like a priest, but he has no weapons. And a number of adolescent and child drow that have clearly been trapped in this passageway for some time. If you had to guess, it would be several days. Their provisions are clearly running out. The air is thin on this side of the rocks. They are maybe a day from perishing in this deep dark gloom.
I got first I got a nat 1, but then I used my day's reroll.
You did not need to use your day's reroll because you are a hobbit, and when you roll a natural 1, you get to reroll.
Oh, that's correct. I'm lucky. Well, then, without using my reroll, and cheers to that, I'll pay my 100 bits later. That's a 20.
I got your bits, son.
Great. So you start ripping through it, and and everything begins to shudder a little bit more, and you have to slow down a little bit. You something needs to be done to stabilize the rock, but you won't need to make another athletics check. Once it's stabilized, you can. That's really funny. Once it's stabilized, you can get through. So they haven't noticed the weasel yet. It's just maybe 20 young drow, and then this older but still young. He would be in his 20s if he was a human. So he's like 140.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gwen is aware of the risk of this action, but Gwen is going to try to be as cute as possible for all these children, even if they know that they're hungry, and then kind of disappear into an area so they can get back to not as tasty of a shape.
Great. There's an animal. Somehow an animal got in here, says one of the drow children. Sorry?
Maybe crawl on a few of the kids.
Great. They all go, no, rats! They're going to eat us! Long rats!
Long rats. Great name.
Long rats.
That's the name of my.
What weasels should be called? Let's be honest.
Same my Fugazi cover
great.
band.
So you squiggle past. So Walker or Euclid, Finn can rip through these rocks, but he needs something to stabilize it so it doesn't all cave in.
Don't let me get crushed to death.
I'm
please.
so not made for this. By the way, what I had rolled was a 2. So I feebly was like horribly pulling at things. I'm not good. I'm not very strong. Yeah, I break a nail and I'm like, oh god, ow, fuck, shit.
Let's see, I can just I'll just stabilize it. If something's falling, I'll move it. I'm
Great,
fast.
make an athletics check. Disadvantage.
I'll help him.
I was gonna say, can fate help?
Oh, fate!
Fate can help.
Well, there's lots of wooden things all about from this not yet destroyed town. Why don't we use those to prop it up? And maybe it will go better than what we're trying.
What is this, physics? Fine, I'll guess, whatever.
I'm just a craftsman, it's how I think.
What's physics?
Alright, boy, and I put my hand on his head and I wiggle his hair about. You're doing well. Alright.
Great.
Don't do that again.
What color is his beard?
So I'm rolling an athletics check again, or
yes,
no, we're crafting thing
because you're bracing.
Right, that is I rolled a 17. That's
great. All right, you're able to clear out the rocks,
18,
and these
18.
people come through, and the priest says, "Thank you. We were not expecting to survive. You are clearly sent from Ilustry herself.
Well,
Now, please, since you're as good as you are, there's so much we need. We were trying to make our way to Galabras as refugees with the children, but then the Duergar were almost upon us, and our leader Darius, instead of defending himself, shattered this section of the cave using his bardic magic. but it set off an entire rock slide, trapping us, not just from the surface, not just from the Durgar that were coming for us, but from the surface.
Oh,
Well,
that was a lot.
we may have been sent by your god. We were also sent by Kark Ghaston. That is important to mention off the top. That is who's footing the bill.
It is also important to mention that we have food and water
Plenty.
for all of your...
And the kids
Everyone.
freak out. The kids freak out. They come running around you and they're petting your lower fur like, water.
Yes, I love you all. Go, eat, drink.
Except for the teenage elves, which are sullen with their white hair over one eye. Like,
Yes, we love you
activate.
too. Come, eat.
Is
Great.
one of them named Ryan?
Sorry?
It's one of them named Ryan.
He's gone to sleep, so I can't make fun of him.
Aw, okay.
No, it's even better to now.
No, it is. He'll watch it
No.
later.
No! I will not! Love for Ryan, if you watch this later. See how I refused. We all love Ryan. All right. So he's our resident teenager viewer. So
You shouldn't cheer the teenage viewer. That's weird.
so you guys have another choice, which is to immediately chase after the enslaved drow, including Darius, the expert that theoretically knows where Thava Baraf is, or to help these refugees tunnel out to Galabras.
Hold on, let's type in
No, I
Darius
say
with
we
that
leave the
apostrophe.
little cornucopia and whatever with them so they can get their strength back, and then we go save the prisoners.
And what,
Without the
forage for
defense,
food?
but without the defense of our warriors, we are sitting ducks here. This is not a safe place.
We'll leave Fate. Could you?
We can't leave Fate. He can't. He can't.
I
Fate-
believe the surface is that way, he says.
and he's right. So
So close.
I believe the surface is that way.
No,
He
you,
says,
you had the
no,
first.
it is. No, he's right. It could happen. It'd be fine.
Oh, goodness.
Who to save? All caps.
Who to say?
All I know is caps. All I know is caps. I'm so sorry, everyone.
It's beautiful and I accept it.
It's like me when I'm accidentally throwing an Overwatch, and instead of pressing my shift escape hotkey, I'm just pressing
Yeah,
caps.
Fate's
over and
Fate's
over.
reasonable at stealth. If you guys don't help the prisoners, he can try to guide them through another exit if you wanted to send him that way. But it's going to be rough and dangerous.
I will not put my son in danger. How dare you?
Look, it's not a bad look. If the prisoners say we need someone, I'd rather Fate than one of the four of us go with them.
I
Here's
have.
the thing. As
We have to save Darius.
we do, but if they're going into enslavement, that means they're at least going to be alive by the time we go and get them.
That is so cynical.
Well, we've got two people to save. Some people are just gonna have to suffer.
Captain.
It's a
And I-
tough choice.
Left out as many letters as I could. Captain.
Since Guin is currently
Captain
nonverbal,
Shivs.
Guin is going to come over and just
Sorry.
nibble
That's deep.
a little bit on Captain right now.
I'm sorry, but these people need to be saved as well. We can't leave them. You saw what we just fought. They're weak. If we leave them here, they're dead.
Yeah.
Is your first mate at one point? I would like to override your choice.
No, I'm not. Look, you're entitled to your opinion, Euclid, and you can contribute to the conversation in any way you want, but you don't get to claim previous first mate rights.
This is not Euclid speaking. This is
Well,
your friend, Schemer.
Fuck. Skim, how you doing?
How you doing? Hey, you're close to my house, so I felt like you should show up. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well.
It's so good to see you.
Good to see you.
Anyway, I think it might be a good idea to, help out these, people. Might be a good idea.
Skim. All right. Misses.
I don't know. I love listening to gods whenever I can. So
I agree
You
with
are the
you.
most
No, you know.
religious son of a. I don't know the female word for cat.
God, you think it's just
Just
God?
cat. Yeah,
Is it
just
just
cat.
cat? It's unoriginal. We need a new one.
I'll think of it.
Also
It's
glad
you? All right, so you're helping the
to
prisoners.
checked up with you guys. Have a good night.
Is
All
that
right,
we are?
bye.
Thank you, Skim.
What the fuck was that? Right, what was that? Jeez.
Yeah,
Well, Skim just talked through you, so
yeah, a little
No.
family
What?
feud.
Skim's got a say in all this. It seems.
It seems. Yeah, sure. He probably should have just told me that instead of just like taking my body or whatever. But
Maybe you should have
Oh,
talked to him about
he's-
these worms.
You know, honestly, my guess is he like really wanted to. Maybe he got a little anxious, and so he had to drink in order to get over the anxiety. But then, you know, he drank, so
that sounds like
he's
Skim.
not thinking the best that he could. You know,
No, you're
Skim.
totally right. That's totally true. Sorry, you
No, it's good.
I'm just using my body. It's really not fair.
So how are we gonna get these? Are we tunneling? Do you have a tunneling machine here that we can build? I guess I don't know. Upwards.
Not quite. I am Lewel. I am a cleric of peace devoted to Ilustry. I am the watcher of the children, and I was the one sent to make sure that they made it to the surface when there was supposed to be a clear path.
I didn't
can
ask
heal.
you if you failed your job or not. I'm asking if you know a way that we can complete this one.
He withers and he says, I don't think I do.
Okay. Does anybody else have a idea as to how to get all of these people to the surface?
Blasting could be useful. So with Finn and Skim's ability to generate fire and Eldritch Blast, that's a one way to get to the surface.
But that is
Another
also
way-
a loud decision to use, huh?
Right? You could try
could
to
be
find
drawn.
another route. You could try to rely on Guin's survival skills to find another way to the surface.
Being ambushed
You-
with this many weaklings, though, is a bad thing. We'd lose the lunch.
I think the direct approach is best.
Maybe we should just blast.
And also, if we have a direct exit, then we can immediately get back to where we were and pick up the trail and try and save Darius.
I wonder how the magistratrix. That is a hard word to say.
Thank you.
Magistratrix. I don't.
Magistratrix. I wonder how they are going to like a new tunnel in their kingdom. We'll find out after we make it.
In their kingdom, I think they'll
good
be all
news-
right.
The good news is this tunnel existed.
Yeah.
It just caved in.
Oh, okay.
Right? It caved in on both sides. So you guys want to start blasting?
Mhm.
Just go in and start blasting.
Yeah. So, anyways, start blasting.
Great. This is the work of several hours, right? You don't need to roll checks, but you're just literally calling upon your dragon flame over and over again. And one of the little drow children, a girl, comes up to you and pulls at the edge of your cloak, Finn, instantly right where Dumbledore had chewed several times. She looks at the goop on her hand and shakes it, but she was just trying to get your attention.
Yeah. Hi. Hey.
Are you like the great worm lady?
What?
Arius
What?
would tell us stories. Not to go far away, because we might be caught by the worm lady of flame.
What?
Where does the great worm lady live?
Down.
Great. Okay.
Straight down? Who? No. Oh, no. It's all right. It's all right. I'm sorry. I
It's in the
yelled a little
deeps.
bit. Who told you about the great worm?
The Arius, he told us stories of the darkness, of the things that lurk within, about how we shouldn't go and where we could go, the fungi we could ask for help. The gray gnomes are good, gray dwarves are bad.
Well, generally speaking, that's not a... I mean, it's not... you shouldn't really judge a book by its cover, or cover by its book.
If you're looking for help, you go to the gray gnomes.
Gnomes are
and you
generally
avoid the gray dwarves.
Good folk.
We always were taught not to judge people exactly, but you don't go to the gray dwarf city for help. You get taken.
You get taken. Yeah.
There are many prisoners in Kark Fortum.
I know it's not the way you're supposed to go, but do you know the way you're not supposed to go? I don't want you to show me, but I do want you to tell me as best as you can your directions towards that city.
She rolls a 6.
Well, shit.
And she tells you have a basic idea of generally where the deep dwarf city is.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
She has no real idea. You get the impression that the Worm Lady of Fire is a boogeyman, but there's definitely part of the warning not to go into the deep.
No. Whether she thinks it's a boogeyman or not, Finn knows what he knows.
Right. Exactly. My point is, it's not, you don't know the address of the Scissor Man.
Yeah, it's not like Darius said not to go to room 52 on level 3 of the mega dungeon because it's a bad place. Right. Yeah, none of that.
No, none of that, not quite. But you're able to burst through and you get your first look at Galabras. So Galabras was once a medium-sized town, a few thousand people, right? Like maybe 10 to 15,000 people. Like a serious town, right? One of the connections of trade between the dwarves and the barbarian tribes, and then a few years ago, somebody magically set off the mountain and turned it into a volcano, and it wiped out the town. Nobody knows what happened, but it has been determined that magic was part of this. And that the elves that lived within the mountain tried to stop it, but failed. Right? So, though they were blamed for it for some time. Then you see that the town has been rebuilt. It's maybe a town of 3,000 now, right? It's growing. It's in process. The biggest part of it are giant stone walls, and there are so many people patrolling it. It's very clear this is a beleaguered town, right? In a way that we started off in Anchortail, which is like a little town of troubles, right? This is a bleak place that has undergone despair and is eking out an existence in the cold. The survivors, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And you're on a mountainside looking down onto this frosty place. There are farms and stuff, but for the most part, tundra in all directions. But the thing that really catches your eye, Finn, is looking to the north, is a massive mountain that looks like a crouched 8-legged spider with an elven skull as its head, as though somebody had chiseled this. But you look and it seems like, it could be nearby, but then you take a gander, it's impossibly far away and impossibly huge. This is clearly the Demon Web Labyrinths, where you were warned, where from within that sight line is the Vabroth. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think Finn just looks on with quiet awe.
So this is Galabras. Does Euclid have a reaction to seeing Galabras for the first time?
There's like a flash behind his eyes.
Did I just lose you all?
No, we're here. What's up? Oh. Well, maybe.
There we're back. Sorry.
Okay.
I lost you all for a second.
Oh, that's worrying because we're still at red.
My internet connection is
We're back.
unstable, it says.
Same.
Great.
We all disappeared for a second. Don't worry about it. Hopefully we're back on the stream. Anyway.
Euclid. Yeah, I see us on the stream.
Yeah, there's a flash behind my eyes, and there's something going on in there, but there's no change in my demeanor or appearance.
Great. Great. The kids are just super happy, and they're running down the mountainside. There doesn't seem to be any danger, and they've reached the bottom of it, and they run towards the city. The city's right at the bottom of the mountain, right? Shaded by it at certain points. I love Want to Become Famous, Sell Your Soul to Orcus Now. Yes.
Wow,
You're welcome.
So good.
Thank
I
you.
almost banned you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Like again.
Nice try, Orcus. So
Also, Vic, I didn't see that post. It just was gone. Like, damn, dude.
I
Vic is
barely
such a good
saw it.
mod.
It's very incredible. All right. So, and you see a half-orc sheriff come out and start greeting them and welcoming them in. You see, you see Lewell coming and talking and ecstatically and impactfully to the sheriff, who points at the walls, and he says, "Yes, we've had our own troubles with the Durgar lately." Let me find these notes. Where are my notes on Galabras? There's one tiny little tower. It looks like a sage has come here. The city has grown up enough. There's also a tavern, right? There are so this is you can head and talk to the sheriff. You can immediately just run right back into the Underdark. You can try to find out what's been going on with the city. What do you guys want to do?
I feel like I've got to check out the church here. I got to see what's going on. I have to see who's run that place. I want to see the judges is. If I just got to meet a few people. I don't know why. I'm just compelled to. I mean, you guys can join me if you like.
No, I want to speak with the sheriff.
Yeah, no, do
Right.
that. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Great. Sheriff is a half-orc, gray-skinned, big jutting chin with horns coming out of the side. Has a giant great maul strapped to his back. Is wearing plate mail armor ringed with winterwolf fur.
Ooh. Damn.
And he's
wearing a
like he's wearing what?
A house, practically.
Yeah, no. It's
expensive.
He's bulky. He's bulky and expensive. But you get the impression that this is a he paid the iron price for it.
Oh, okay.
Love
okay.
that.
Right. This is definitely he's a gentleman covered in scars. And he says, "How can I help you, travelers? You've saved these fine people. We've always had an agreement that if something happened to either of our cities, the other would take in the refugees. Are there truly none left underneath Mount Sheress?"
We don't know that for a fact, sir. We were delivering those that we found and then going to follow up on other leads.
But you have our word that we find any more, we will send them straight here to you. Kind sir. What is your name, by the way?
Driftle.
Driftor.
Torm.
Of Torm.
Torm. Right.
Torm.
And you do indeed see he has the outstretched hand of the god of heroism, justice, and not adventuring. It's the god of daring do and heroic deeds, right?
Yeah.
And there is a Rift Torn. That's pretty funny. So he says, "You've come all this way just to save a few elves. You don't, if you don't mind my saying so, it doesn't seem like this is all the way you came out here. What are you doing? Is Galapagos in more danger than we already know?"
What dangers do you know of?
Durgar raids
Mm.
on the
Oh, that's it?
surface, using their mind magics. I think they're called psionics, to melt our brains and make us turn against each other. We have reason to believe there are infiltrators in the town, but we can't find them.
So are you just using that to root out random people who look different than you? Like you used to. I don't know too much about your current city and how it runs. I know things have changed, I'm sure.
He looks at you and he says, I was born a bastard in the Orcish tribes. I ran away when I was young and came to this city to help defend it. And they welcomed me in.
No.
And now I run its defense. Everyone of all sorts, creeds, anything else is welcome here, if they're willing to do the work that it takes to eke out a living in this barren wasteland.
Well, things have changed, huh? Eddie.
It's my business. I have to ask again. What are you truly doing here?
We were sent by the Magistratrix, of course. This is a routine for us, an adventurous sort.
We're looking for a specific individual because they had not contacted Kark Ghaston, Darius.
Kind of nuts.
I want to. Sorry, please. Yeah.
Finn's. What does Finn wear?
A scarf, right?
This.
No, I know, but what is it called? What would you call it?
My scarf or my
cowl?
The cape. Your cowl.
Is a cape.
So Guin
modeled after a World War II nurse's cape,
and lands on the floor, back in humanoid form, and it's just like, I'm looking for a guy that kind of looks like me, and is very forthcoming with that information.
What?
Darius, of course.
Ooh. What?
He says, I do feel as though there's some part of your story that you're not telling me. It's my job to see through these things, but fine. Darius would have lived in Mount Shiraz.
You're not getting. I'm sorry. I hate to interrupt you, person I've just met. I think the part you're not getting is that Darius looks like our friend Guin. Care to explain?
They're both drow elves with similar facial features.
It's racist.
Hopefully that answered that question for you, Euclid.
Yeah, that sounds what it ain't.
What is going on?
What is what churches do you have in town? Just wondering, who's still around?
Church of Ilmater, of course, to heal all of those who have harmed. The Church of Torm, and the Church of Saloon, the moon goddess.
I like moons. Moon's fun.
Moons, so cool. So anybody else want to check out the Church of Ilmater? Just see who's there. I just think about it. Just think about it. You don't have to.
He's going to get a little bit even more agitated, and he says, "You're not representing her, then?" He says, looking at you. You clearly seem to be another one of her relations.
Hmm?
No.
He's looking at Finn.
What? I'm sorry. What?
Oh, yeah, nothing's changed.
No, hey, you should. Sorry. Who is she?
The Red Worm.
No, I'm not her type. I'm descended from her type.
Well, no, we've never seen her. We've just met those like you. She seems to have a number of half-dragon halflings that work for her.
All right,
make
I'm
her
not
ultimatums.
Half-dragon, thank you very much. I'm a halfling.
I understand. But every time one of them has shown up, it has been to make worse and further threats and demand more and more of our money.
He tried to kill his dad the other day.
I'm not here for your money. I don't imagine you would know this individual, but there was someone who used to live here named Skimmerhorn. Who's very near and dear to my heart, and I want this town to succeed more than others. However,
Skimmerhorn. I came here. I was an orphan in this town as well. He was, I knew him. It's interesting that you would refer to him that way. Here he was, well, he wasn't the most helpful individual.
The god now.
Yeah, I would watch your tongue. Anyways, this red dragon you speak of and people who look like me who come seeking the dream.
No. They don't come seeking the dream. They're extorters.